Okay, let's have a look at the case that just arrived. This is the case made by Ainol. So it is a special built case for the Ainol Novo 7 Venus tablet. So it should fit well, and it does. And it's leather, and I'll show you some of the features that this case brings. I purchased this case from a website called banggood.com, BANGGOOD.com. Here's a few shots of it. It'll show you the cutout for the front and rear facing camera, as well as the speaker cutout. Here's how it sets up. The white case you see there is a case that I reviewed earlier, and a case that I like real well. And after getting the new case in the mail today, I'm liking my white case even more. You can see it gives you complete access to all your ports and buttons. Now let's go ahead and pop the Novo 7 Venus tablet into its case made by the, I assume, by the manufacturer. As I pointed out there, you see it has the cutout holes for both the front and the rear facing camera, as well as additional holes to allow the speaker to operate at a higher volume. That was the one of the downsides of the white case that you saw there earlier. It does block the speakers. I mean, you can still hear the speakers, but it's gonna reduce the overall volume. So okay, you saw how the case popped into the tablet popped into the case real easy. Here it is in the stand. The description on the website says something about multi-angle view. I don't see how that's possible. I see one angle, so hopefully that's a good one for you. And right from the start, you can see there's some issue accessing any things that are right along the edge of the screen. Any icons or things need to be accessed from the edge can be difficult to touch. Here's your ports, and there are cutouts for the ports other than once you get up to the headphone and power jack there at the top, those two round ports. I think that could have been a little bit better designed. The piece of leather should probably come down in between the power connector and the headphone jack. You're gonna have to wiggle a little bit to get both of those attached at the same time, but it's not a big deal. It's not a deal breaker. Again, here's where your speakers are, and there's your rear-facing camera cutout. This is how you turn it into a stand, and if you can figure out how to make it a multi-angle, I don't see it, but it worked. You know, it's real stable in that stand position. You do have access to your buttons along the top, not a problem. And using it and touching the tablet while it's in this case in the stand mode, it feels real stable. But again, you see me taking several taps to access that bottom row of icons. Here I'm just changing my wallpaper back to my normal live wallpaper. We got that set. Swipe back to home. So now I'll reposition the camera to show you one little thing that you keep in mind. I've been using the Dolphin browser since the Chrome browser was broken with the latest firmware update. So this is the Dolphin browser, which has gotten some pretty good reviews. But the one problem is the Dolphin browser has some additional features or settings that you get to by swiping from both the left or the right edge. So here I am. I finally got it to, I had to basically pull back the left edge of the leather to allow my finger to get in there close enough to swipe from left to right. And here I am trying to tap something in the very corner, and the leather just intrudes a little bit too much. This makes it a little more difficult to access some things. I'm sure with some practice you can make this work for you. It's just a little bit of inconvenience right now. Again, this is the first time I'm using the tablet with the new case here. And again, you see swiping in from the right hand side, there's more options you can get to with the Dolphin browser. See there I was able to do it with one hand. I didn't have to hold back the edge of the leather to access it. So let me try it again from the left hand side. There. So I guess it will take a little bit of practice. It might be frustrating if you are a big Dolphin browser user and you access those additional settings and functions by swiping in from the left or right. That might be a pain. Here I'm trying to go back to the home screen. 5, 6, 7, 8 taps before. Again, it's because the leather just kind of comes a little bit too intrusive on the actual screen. They should probably should have left about a 1/4 inch. Here's the Ainol logo on the back of the case. So it's a real handsome looking case. And again, here's your ports again.